One of the nice things about being a woodworker is you get asked to do things by other people, and that's kind of a compliment. Hello everyone, Colin Cadet here for Woodwork Web. If people find out that you're a woodworker, very often they'll ask you to do little things that they need done, make little boxes or things like that. And it's because they realize that you have a skill that they may not have, or that they have confidence in your abilities and your skills and maybe even your artistry. And one of the things that is often asked of woodworkers is to make some kind of a presentation, a trophy or a plaque or some kind of thing. And today, that's what I'm going to be talking about and doing, is making a small little presentation piece. What I have is a very small shovel and pick, and they're made out of, it feels like they're made out of solid silver. They're beautifully detailed, and I've been asked to make some kind of a plaque for these to go on. Let me show you a detail, as I'll get as close as I can so you can see the detail of these little tools. That's about as close as I can get, and there's my finger so you can see how small these are, but look at the fine detail on these. And today we're going to try and figure out some kind of a plaque that we can mount these on. When you're doing these kinds of things, it's nice to be able to try some things out. So I have 3 different pieces of wood and 3 different options that I wanted to look at here. And the first one is Gary oak. It's part of the white oak family, and I just wanted to see what that looked like on there. And they kind of blend in, although if you look down here you can see that I put some dies on there to see if I could lift it, but I'm not really happy with any of those. Then I have this Asian wood here. I forget the name of it off the top of my head. I only have one board of it, and I like the way they stand out there. So they obviously need a dark, it looks like they need a dark wood. Then there's this one, and this is a beautiful piece of wood. You can see that it's an outside, and I even took and sanded away part of the inside. But you know, when you put this on here, look at how they get lost in all of the beautiful detail of the wood. And the last one is some yew, and I'm going to bring that over a little closer so you can see that. I kind of like this one too, with the different colors, variations in the wood. But, you know, at the end of the day, and that's why we set these things out, I still think this one stands out the best. So I think I'm going to go with this one, and we'll have to do something to try and make this pretty. In fact, this was just a piece of wood that I had, and it looks like it's even the perfect size. Now, what I could do with this is just simply put some kind of a Roman ogee around it, dress it up a little bit and finish it off. But I'd like to do a little bit more than that. Try and dress this little plaque up a little bit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to find an arc that I like, a little bit bigger than this, something like that. And I'm going to try with some paper on there and just put There you go. I like that one. So that's a 1 1/4 inch radius. So what I'm going to do now, very carefully in the corner, I'm going to mark all of these and draw that radius. Then I'm going to cut it out. I could have used a Forstner bit, but in this case I'm going to cut it out with my scroll saw because it's going to make a cleaner cut. Okay, I have my scroll saw set up, I've tightened it down, and we're just ready to cut these radiuses out now. Now I'm going to use my oscillating sander to clean up these quarter circles. the next thing we're going to do is put a bit of a decorative edge with the router bit and the router table all the way around this little plaque. Okay, I'm at the router table. I've installed the bit and I've set the height, and now I'm going to follow the contour. And remember, we always do the edge grain first because there's almost always blowout, but we can fix that by going down the long grain last. Well, the next thing we need to do, I've done some sanding and it's all ready to do some finishing, but before I do some finishing, there's a couple of things that I want to do. And of course we need to attach these on here, and what I've purchased, some very fine, 26 gauge brass wire, and it's almost like hair, it's so fine. So what I'm going to do is do a couple of wraps around here and then put it through the wood. Okay, let's do a little bit of finishing now. And of course I'm using my favorite finishing Seiko or Osmo here, and we go against the grain first of all, and then we go with the grain. And the one thing about Osmo is you want to put it on very, very lightly. You're better off to put on multiple coats and put it on as lightly as you can. If you can see it on there, it's too thick. I finished giving the plaque its third coat, and you can see it's got a beautiful sheen to it. It just looks beautiful. What I'm going to do now before we mount the hardware on is I want to make a little hole in the back so that this can be hung on the wall, and I'm going to put it at a little bit of an angle so that it will hold some kind of a nail or a screw. Well, and there's our little plaque all finished, ready for somebody to hang on the wall. And I love how the silver contrasts so nicely against the dark wood. Don't forget, if you haven't already subscribed, we ask you to do that. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, all that good stuff. And don't forget, there will be an article to this on Woodwork Web, and the link is down below in the description box below this video. I'm Colin Cadet for Woodwork Web. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, lots more videos. I've got lots more builds coming your way, so be sure to stay tuned.